But the man that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. 32, and they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eateth up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. 33, and there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak, which came of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight.
Thank you. That's chapter 13, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. We will read chapter 14 later.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What are the characteristics of a person with a slave mentality? Number one, slave mentality is when somebody is either not aware of the huge possibilities and potential he possesses as a child of God, or is aware but is too scared to actually believe he could take possession of it or to go for it. You pay attention to those two words, slave mentality. Slave mentality is a problem that Christians have that does not have anything to do with their spirit man. Their spirit man has been regenerated. They have been redeemed. So everything is okay with their spirit man. But slave mentality is a problem that Christians have that has to do mainly with their mental sense, with their mind. So a lot of people in church today cannot become great and cannot become who God wants them to become because of their mind is messed up. Mentality is wrong. What is the main thing that is wrong about their mentality? The main thing that is wrong about their mentality is, you remember, they have been redeemed in their soul, in their heart, in their spirit, and that means they have become these children of God. And becoming children of God means that everything that God has belongs to them now. That means they have become heir of God. That means nothing can stop them. That means there is nothing impossible for them. That means greater is he that is in them than he that is in the world. But today, you can find in church, in Christian church, people who are being redeemed in their heart and their soul, in their spirit. But even though they are redeemed, but they could still be afraid. In fact, not just they could be, they are even still afraid or frightened of witches and wizards, for example. Or of evil, for example. Or they might even not, let's even leave demons out or spirits out. They might even think there is something they cannot do. Either because, of whatever reason. I cannot do this, I cannot do this. It is impossible. It's supposed to be a word that is not available, that should not be used by Christians, that there is something I cannot do. Or there is something I cannot become. It's not supposed to be available in the vocabulary of the Christian. Every Christian is supposed to be so radically convinced that he can change the world. Everyone. In fact, the only problem we should be having with Christians is the problem of superiority complex. Hallelujah. That's the only problem we should be having with Christians. We should be trying to stop them, hold them back. Okay, wait a minute, please. Wait, slow down for him. Maybe you wait for him a little bit. That should be the only problem we should be having with Christians. That they are so possessed with superiority complex, with superiority mindset, that they are all, in fact, people should always be in awe of what they hear them say. But slave mentality makes you to think in your mind. You might be hearing words, right words, you might be going to church, but in your own mind, you say, I cannot do it. That's slave mentality. I don't believe it. I'm too scared. So when I got born again, I was exactly like that. When God called me, I was 19 years old. The first question I asked God is, but I'm too young. I don't know anything. I'm not big. Who will listen to me? I am black. I don't have money. I'm from a poor family. So another feature of slave mentality, characteristic of slave mentality, is negative focus, negativity focus. You are always thinking in the opposite, in the negative. I have not, every negativity, negative, that's slave mentality. So I had all my list of why I couldn't do it. But the stronger point that God is in me, that I am born of God, because he said, they that believe in him, those who receive him, he gives power. But I don't pay attention to become sons of God. So I don't even pay attention. So that's what slave mentality makes you to do. You downplay your right. You downplay your authority. You just downplay it. You just don't pay too much attention to it. You downplay your authority and all the promises, your inheritance, your heir status, your superiority. And then you magnify and emphasize all the negative. Those negative things might be factual. They might be visible. They might be there. You have not embraced the good, positive promises and features and inheritances that you have, but rather Satan is making you to focus only on the negative. That is mentality. That is what we call slave mentality. So churches are full of people with slave mentality. And unfortunately, either the pastors and leadership of the church are not even aware that their congregants are suffering from this thing. Because even when pastors preach against negativity or they want to preach about faith, the only thing they do is that they only preach about faith for healing, faith for miracle, not faith in who they are. Not faith in who they should become in their destiny. They have, you understand? But they rather preach on faith for them to get by, to hardly make it, get by, to get something. But not to make them become. So either pastors are not aware of that, or maybe to some pastors, maybe it is actually profitable to keep slaves in the pews. So why people cannot become great is that they have slave mentality. As long as you have that mentality of a slave, you can never become mover and shaker. You can never become great. You can never be a kingdom carrier. You can never become a kingdom, a God carrier, a kingdom enforcer. You can never be bold enough, because slave mentality makes you to live, that's another factor, makes you to live in perpetual, not just negativity, but also in perpetual fear. Slave mentality also keeps you held back from your potential because of fear. What about if this? If I do this? If this? What about if this? What about if I fail? What about? So these are some of the things for us to attack. These are some of the things that we have to attack. If you people have been listening to my messages, those series we are talking about on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, all those series, you will see that my teachings are attacking mental strongholds. So these are the mental strongholds. You see, the strongholds that Paul spoke about in Corinthians, is not stronghold that demon is connected to. This one is the stronghold that is the mind that is connected to. So this stronghold that we are supposed to cast down is not the ones living in the air right now. It's the one living in your mind. These are the biggest strongholds. And if we want to raise up generation of people who are great, if we want to raise up generation of people who identify with their God and do things and bring the glory of God to the earth, the church must redesign our messages, our form, our communication skills, our delivery, our attitude. All those things must be reformed and changed, totally changed. Like I told you, I had to change. So that now, everything we do, we have the intention and the purpose of raising him up, of destroying that which is holding him down, of tearing the walls of negativity and fear in him, of setting him free from the shackles, and raising him up and putting him on the pedestal and letting him know, you are the one to reign here. It is your place. Look at me, believe it. It belongs to you. Of instilling confidence, faith, of backing him up.